Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. Are you ready to work out together? If you're new here, my name's Ash, I'm 27, I'm a cybersecurity enthusiast, and on this channel we play Capture the Flags and we learn cybersecurity together. On today's video, we are going to be going over Pico CTF. This is both a live CTF event that happens once a year, and we are going to be practicing for the current 2023 event. For my notes on any challenge that I go over here, and for any other challenges and CTFs, see hack notes in the description, and while you're there, you can find links and timestamps. All right, let's get started. So I've gone over to picoctf.org. I've made myself an account and I've selected practice. And we can see here with this progress checker that there's over 200 different challenges we can go through. And I have done absolutely zero. So the plan today is to go over our general skills and let's just see how many we can do. So we have a total of 34. Let's start off with the first one, which is worth 5 points. And I take it that as these challenges get more difficult, you get more points. So just out of curiosity, we go from 5 points anywhere up to 350 points. Let's open up Obedient Cat. So we're presented with the title. We have a couple of tags. So this was a part of the 2021 and it's just in our general skills. We do have some hints here. And the important thing to note here with hints, if we do click on the hints, we won't get any points for solving this. So we have our description, which sometimes includes like a clue. Maybe there's a specific tool we should be using. And we also have the amount of people who have came through to solve this and the amount of people who have attempted to solve this. Given it's an easy challenge, about 97% of the people so far have gone through and solved it. And then we can leave a like or dislike on the challenge. And lastly, we have the input field, so we can actually get the flag and submit it here. So let's go ahead and get started. This file has a flag in plain sight, aka in clear text, download flag. So I'm just gonna right click and go copy link. So I'm just gonna make a Pico CTF directory. Then I'm just gonna make a general directory inside that. So in there, let's just run wget and paste in our link. And if we ls our contents, we have our flag and we can go and just cap that out. So we come back to Pico CTF, let's paste that in. Go submit. Hooray! We have got our first 5 points. So even the title of that was actually a clue to what we need to actually use, the tool cat, concatenate. And this is one of our most fundamental tools or command line programs that we're going to use to concatenate, to pull together files and print out to the standard output, which is what we see as the humans using the terminal. Awesome. All right, so I'm feeling pretty good. Let's go on to the next one, Python wrangling. So similar to how we had cat being a bit of a clue, Python being a high-level general purpose programming language, chances are we're going to have something to do with this. So if we click on it, we can see that we've got 10 points. And for our description, we've got Python scripts are invoked kind of like programs in the terminal. Can you run this Python script using this password, this flag? All right, so let's just copy these one at a time. I'm going to go ahead and make a Python wrangling directory and cd into that. So we'll wget the first one, wget the second one, and lastly. So if we list out our contexts, we have this end.e.py file, we have our flag.txt.english, and then our password.text. So let's just look at one at a time by using our cat command that we learned last time. Let's see what our password is. So it just looks like a random string. So we're going to need to feed this into, I guess, the Python program. Now we're given this flag.txt. So this looks like it's encoded. So our flag is in here, but we need this Python program to actually solve it. So we can also just cat out our Python program and we can try and get an idea of what's going on. So it looks like it's importing the sys module, base64, and some other cryptography. So there's also looks like some helpful messages. So we can go ahead and just run this. It's going to give us a little bit more details of what we can do. I can already tell here by looking at the sysargv that it's going to take in what we pass through at the command line, and I'll show you what I mean. So to run a Python program, we can look up what Python we have. So it's just Python, no Python 3 or anything. Like we can just run it like so. So we're just going to pass our Python file through Python. So Python's going to interpret it and run the code. So here we have this usage message that we saw. So it's actually, they're helpfully instructing us. We've got the file that we passed through, -e or -d, and then the file that we want. So if I had to guess, this might be extract and this might be decode. So let's just start off with using the -e flag, and then we pass through our file, which in this case, we actually want to pass through our flag. I'm assuming. All right, now we have enter the password. So if we just go and get that password again, we'll copy that with Control-Shift-C. And then in here, we'll go Control-Shift-V to paste that in and select enter. Well, this looks similar to the flag that we already had. So let's hit the up arrow and we'll go over and we'll change that to D this time. And then we'll go Control-V and there we go. So without like deconstructing the Python code more, we can copy out our flag. We can paste this in and go submit. All right, 2 out of 2 so far. We're doing well. Let's go over to our next one. We've got wave a flag. Damn, there's a lot of hints. Okay, so we've got our description. Can you invoke help flags for a tool or binary? This program has extraordinarily helpful information. All right, let's go ahead and grab this, copy the link. I've already gone ahead and made a new file for this challenge, wave a flag. So we'll just wget that in, and we are presented with a warm file. There's 10,000 bits of information. We can run file against it, and it looks like it is an executable. So now knowing that we can execute it, to get permissions to actually execute it, we need to add the X permissions for executable. Let's go ahead and change modifications plus X to warm. And now when we run, we can see everyone has got permissions and it's gone to that green color. So to actually execute it, we can go /warm, and here we go. Hello user, pass me a -H to learn what I can do. All right, so we'll hit up arrow, we'll go -H. Oh hell, I actually don't do much, but I do have this flag here, and here we go. Awesome, Control-Shift-C, and we'll paste that in. Cool, so I'm feeling pretty good. Going over the easy challenges. So we're up to a 25 score, sweet. Let's go down to nice netcat. So our description reads, there is a nice program that you can talk to by using this command in a shell. So we have our prompts, and we have the command nc mercury.picoctf.net and then a port number, but it don't speak English. Ooh, okay. So we'll copy that. So if we look up the manual for NC, this is a TCP IP Swiss Army knife. So NC is short for Netcat and is a simple Unix utility which reads and writes data across network connections. Using TCP or UDP protocol, it is designed to be a reliable back-end tool that can be used directly or easily driven by other programs and scripts. So we can read more about it and we can scroll down and we can see the different options that we have. So Netcat, like it says, is Swiss Army knife, like it's pretty powerful, it can do a lot. A lot of the times we'll use it for like reverse shells and we'll set it up to listen, and then we'll make sure a remote system can actually connect to our system when it's listening. So it's super powerful. So we run it by using NC, and we can paste in what we've copied over. So that domain and then followed by the port, and we'll hit enter. Okay, so it looks like it's given us a series of numbers. We were told it doesn't speak English. So the next step is to try and figure out what these numbers actually mean. Given I've done a few CTFs, my first thought is this is encoded, or this is the flag itself, but represented in a different format. So just as a proof of concept, we can use a tool like CyberChef. And if we put in like the first 5 numbers, for example, and we can see here that this is in the format of our flag. So this is decimal. So if we just paste in the numbers, we then get the full flag here. So we can copy that and we can paste that into here and click submit. We're getting a little bit harder now. So instead of just getting the answer handed to us like we did in like Python or Cat, we're now handed another problem that we have to solve. So let's see what it looks like when we're going up to the 20 points. So we've got static ain't always noise. Ooh, there's no hints for this one. Okay. So we've got, can you look at the data in this binary static? This bash script might help. All right, let's go ahead and get our files, running wget. And if we list our files, so we have that shell script because it's ending in .sh. And then we have this static file. So let's go file against everything in this directory. So we can confirm that this is definitely a shell script, but this static is some sort of executable. So let's do what we did earlier, where we can go add the executable to this static. And then let's go ahead and try and run it. And we have a message presented. Oh, hiya. Wait, what? A flag? Yes, it's around here somewhere. Okay, interesting. So let's go take a look at our shell script because this is supposed to help us. So if we cat that out, we can see that it first invokes bin bash. it's then going to attempt to disassemble this $1. Now in Bash, this is the same we saw earlier with sysargv in Python, meaning we pass through the file as we type out the command. Now we have some comments which says this usage of object disassembles all with the dash D of the first file given by invoker. Okay, so it looks like this is going to disassemble it itself. So I don't know if we need to use this, but let's just try ahead and go and use this. So let's go ahead and do the same thing for this file so we can actually go ahead and run it. But this time let's pass through static to it. So we see the same message that we were looking at, and instead of seeing the $1, we see the file that we actually passed through. And it says here that disassembly was successful. We have now a static txt file. So if we hit LL again, we can see that we have these two new files that's come from it. So let's go ahead and cat both of those out. So if we look through, we can see how this program was actually being run. And down here on what I assume is the line 1020, we can see the flag. But interestingly enough, just before it, we saw the message. So I think that this is like a little bit of reverse engineering what we're doing. I'm super not like good at this, but as far as I understand is when a program is like packed together, however that process works, there's elements like these strings that are hidden in here that you can't see once it's been packed. So we've just disassembled it or unpacked. All right, so we can go ahead and paste that in. Awesome, so let's go on to tab attack. Alrighty, so we have using tab complete in the terminal will add years to your life, especially when dealing with long rambling directory structures and file names. Okay, so this is sort of cluing us in. There might be like spaces and file names, there might be some weird stuff, and we're going to be using the tab to autocomplete. So let's go ahead and copy the link to this zip folder. We'll go ahead and wget that in this tab attack directory. So we can see here that we've got our zip, and we can use unzip to actually get into the zipped files. So we can see here the output shows that it's created a root directory, other directories, and other directories. We can look inside this in an easy way using a program called tree. Like the outputs of unzip, this sort of just makes it a little bit easier to read. So we can see right at the end we have this fang of however the heck you say that. So I think that our flag is actually going to be in here, and it's really handy because we see that with 7 directories deep and then there's one file right at the end. So let's go cat, and we'll do as it suggests. We use tab and tab, and then we get right down to the end. So this looks like it is packed, or it might be an executable. So this is sort of like the last challenge where we couldn't see the strings in that. This is like what it looks like before when we're trying to cat it out. So let's just hit our up arrow and run a different command. Let's go file. Yeah, so we can confirm that this is an executable. So we'll hit up arrow, but let's actually just change directories there. So now we're in there. This does already have executable, so we don't need to change mod. We can just go ahead and run that, and there we go. We've got our flag. Paste it in, hit submit. Awesome, so that's the last general skills at the 20 points. So now we're working our way up to 30. So we've got Magic Carp ground mission. And if Magic Carp isn't ringing any bells, you probably didn't have a Game Boy and you weren't rocking freaking Ruby and Sapphire. All right, so we've got, do you know how to move between directories and read files in the shell? Start the container, SSH, and then ls once connected to begin. Log in via SSH as CTF player with the password ABCDA9F7. Additional details will be available after launching your challenge instance. Hey, cool. Let's go launch instance. So it's going to give us here pretty much the entire command to get in. So we're going to be using the command SSH. We've got the user domain, and then it's already got the -P for port and the port that they've made available. So it's already up. I don't know what I'm waiting for. Let's go ahead and copy this. Let's go ahead and paste that in. We'll hit enter. We'll go yes. And then our password, I can just see in the transparent terminal, ABCDA9F7. So we're greeted with just a generic Ubuntu system. And remember the instruction says, once we're in here, we run ls. So it looks like we have 1 of 3.flag.txt, instructions to 2 of 3. So we're going on a little bit of a hunt. So first, let's cat out our 1 of 3 flag. We literally have a third of the flag. Okay, next, let's look at the instructions. Next, go to the root of all things. more succinctly /. So change directories is our CD, and we're going to go to the most top folder, and then we're going to go ls again. So we see the whole file system, and there we have 2 of 3. Let's go ahead and get that. I have a notepad open that I'm pasting this into. All right, next let's open up our instructions to 3 of 3. And lastly, CTF player, go home, and more succinctly, the tilde. So we're going to change directives and to our tilde, which, if you don't know, this is an abbreviation for the current logged in user's home directory. So if we go enter and then we go ls, we have our third piece of the flag. So we'll go ahead and cat that out. So now we have our full flag, which is out of interest as a drop-in. Oh, okay. Drop-in is where we started, right? So we were so close to our third piece. We were just one directory away. Awesome. So we can paste in the full flag now that we've got all 3 parts, and that automatically killed the instance. Okay, so let's go over to our first 50 points. Let's warm up. Okay, let's warm up. So this was from 2019. We've got here, if I told you a word started with 0x70 in hexadecimal, what would it start with in ASCII? Let's go ahead and copy this hexadecimal. If we go from hex and we paste this in, we can see the letter P. So we have the letter P. Is that our answer? So we're still looking for the flag format. I'm just a little confused at where exactly our flag is. So I guess because we still have to put it in the flag format, I guess it's Pico CTF and then okay, cool. That really tripped me out. That's a good one to stretch your brain. I'm so used to flags always being a string or something. That's a good one. That really got me. All right, next up, we've got warmed up and also worth 50 points. So we've got what is 0x3D, and we've got told it's base 16 in decimal base 10. So we'll go over to CyberChef and we'll paste in our input. And we can see here that we've already got from hex will produce equals, but it's asking us to put it into decimal. So if we look up to decimal and we put that in, then we have 61. So again, if we put in our Pico CTF flag and then the number and we hit submit, okay, cool. I really liked those two. All right, next one we have to warm. All right, so another conversion. Can you convert the number 42 that's in base 10 to binary? So back to CyberChef. So we can just look up to binary and we go ahead and copy that. And then we'll write out our flag and paste it in. I'm assuming that it wants the spaces. Let's go ahead and remove the space. Okay, I'm gonna add from decimal first, then go to binary. We'll grab our number and then we'll paste that in. From base, we'll go 10 to binary and then we'll try that. I don't know if that's the same that we had earlier. I think that's the same. So CyberChef just recommended all this and thinks that it's just that. Oh, so instead of to binary, we should probably just go to base and then 2. Yeah, okay. I probably should have thought a little bit more about that. All right, so that's our 50 points all done. So we are up to 100 points in our general skills category, and we've got what's a netcat. So again, from 2019, we've got using netcat and C is going to be pretty important. Can you connect to this jupiter.challenges.picoctf.org on port 41120 to get the flag? Let's go netcat, paste in our domain, and after it, we'll just go 41120. Nice and easy. Paste in our flag. All right, next up, we've got strings it, and strings is a command that we can use. So that's already going to be a bit of a hint. So we've got, can you find the flag in the file without running it? Let's go copy, make a directory, go into it, and then we'll go ahead and download that file. All right, so we just have a file called strings, and if we look at that, it is an executable, but remember it said without running it, so we don't need to go change mod, we don't need to actually execute it, but I might after. But what we do need to do is run strings against strings, and we get a whole big old output. So we can manually scroll through this until we find the flag, but a bit of a quicker way to do it is if we pipe all of those outputs through another program called grep, and we'll just look for Pico or Pico, and that's going to show us our flag. And if you haven't used grep, it's a pattern matching command. So we just typed in our pattern, and then it took that pattern and tried to find any matching strings, and it did. So let's go ahead and paste that in. And just out of curiosity, if we actually did change mod it and ran it, maybe try the strings function, take a look at the man page, so it could actually tell us if we were a bit lost. All right, next up, we've got bases. And it looks like we've got all of our next challenges are all at the 100 points. So a little bit more difficult. So what does this mean? We've got a string. I think it has something to do with bases. So let's go straight over to CyberChef and we can paste that in and it's going to recognize that we do have base 64 here. So if we type out our flag format and we paste in our flag that we got and we'll submit that. Awesome. All right, next up, we've got first grep. Can you find the flag in this file? This would be really tedious to look through manually. Something tells me there is a better way. So we've already been told what we need to use. Go ahead and make a directory for this. We'll wget it and we have just been given a file. So if we use the word count and we just look at purely the number of lines that are in this file. Oh, there's only 6. How many characters are in here? 14,000. So 315, I think that's words. So if we just look at the first bit of this file, yeah, it's a mess. So somewhere in here is our flag. So we can cat the entire file. And like we just did to search through, we can just use what we know as the format, and that's going to easily find the flag for us. Awesome, paste that in. Cool, so let's go over to codebook. We've got codebook. Run the Python script code.py in the same directory as codebook.txt. Okay, so let's grab these. Make a directory codebook, and then we'll go ahead and grab our files. Okay, so we've got our txt and our py, and as it said, run this code.py in the same directory as our code.txt, and it gave us the flag straight away. Just out of curiosity, is there anything inside codebook? All right, so they put a hash, which probably is red. So if we actually open up code.py, it looks like they have a function that takes input of secret and key. So the flag looks like encoded in here. Geez, I need to do more with Python. Like, I understand what this is doing, but I cannot explain it. So if this code book, we just called codebook 2, and now if we ran that code, it says it couldn't find codebook.txt. It's relying on seeing this codebook.txt. And if we move it back and we run it, it'll work. Yeah, super interesting. So we can go ahead and just submit that flag. Awesome. So we've got converttime.py. Run the Python script and convert the given number from decimal to binary to get the flag. All right, let's copy. We'll go convert time, download it. Here we do get the convert. What did I say? Convert time? Convert me. I just imagined that there was an I there. It's convert me. Wow. Okay, let's go convert me. If 19 is the decimal base, what is the binary base? So this is similar to what we had earlier. So we can put 19 into CyberChef. So we go ahead, go from base. So decimal base being 10 and then binary base being 2. So we actually want to go 2 base. So 2 base is equal to 2. And then we'll paste that in here. And yay, it's correct. We get our flag. All right, cool. Let's go over to fixme1.py. Fix the syntax error in this Python script to print the flag. Okay, let's go grab it, download it. So we do have this fixme1.py. Let's first just run that through the Python interpreter. And we have a line 20. That is correct. Here's your flag. Unexpected indent. Okay, so we're just not indented properly. Let's go ahead and open that up in Nano. So this last line here with the print command, I assume is print is line 20. If we just backspace that, so it's all in the one line. And if you're unaware of Python's indentation is like built into how the programming language works. So by just having it indented like it was, yeah, we're going to get an error and it's not going to work. Control X, Y, and enter, up, and we'll hit enter, and then we get our flag. Paste it in. Awesome. So we have another one, fixme2. So we have another syntax error. So let's go ahead and copy the link. So we'll wget that, and we'll go ahead and run that through. So in line 22, we have an invalid syntax. Maybe you meant equals or a walrus instead of just equals. So Python, this is the assignment variable, but in this statement, it's checking if flag is the same value as whatever's passed through. You're not actually assigning the value. Let's go ahead and open up Nano. So we don't have line numbers. I need to find a better text editor. So manually, I can see here if flag is value. So we're not assigning the value, we're checking. So 2 equals is if it is this. Let's go ahead and see if that fixes it. Awesome. So that's all it was. So it's good that Python's feedback for errors are improving, like it's giving suggestions, so that helps us as programmers, so that's cool. So we'll paste in our flag, we'll go submit. Awesome, so let's go on to GlitchCat. Our flag printing service has started glitching. Oh no. We'll go ahead and copy our command, and this was a part of the Pico Mini 2022. Make a GlitchCat directory, and then we'll paste in our command and we'll see what we get. So we can see the beginning of our flag, and these characters the rest of... Now, how the hell do I solve this? If these are just decimal, if these are just like hexadecimal, let's just try and get a proof of concept. So if we paste this in, we can see from hex will produce 9. So there's probably an automated way of doing this, but I'm going to manually copy and paste these over. So hopefully this is the rest of it. I actually think that there's something left to do here, but we'll just see if we can paste that in. All right, cool. No, that was it. I was sort of thinking that this still might be encoded and we might need to go further, but awesome. Let's go over to hashing job app. So hashing job app, also a part of that Pico Mini in 2022. So if you want to hash with the best, beat this test. Ooh, all right. All right, let's paste it in and see what we have. So please MD5 hash the text between quotes, excluding the quotes. Okay, so we got to take the text Babe Ruth, and there's a few ways to do this, but we're going to use the command FD5 sum. Pass through that. That's not how you use it. How do you use it? So compute and check MD5 messages. Well, I think we need to actually echo it out and then pass it through. So if we echo Babe Ruth and pass that through MD5 sum, this might be it, but I know echo adds a new line, so this might not be it, but we'll paste that in, and yeah, it's not right. So let's run this again, but we'll just do a dash n to turn off the new line, and you can see here that we actually do get a different hash. So if we paste that in this time, it's also wrong. Let's try getting rid of the quotes. So that gives the exact same hash. Oh damn, it changes. Bro, I gotta be a bit quicker. I didn't even notice that, but it's not just the single. There's other things. Paste, quick. Oh, I've got to do multiple. Oh, I see how this is a bit of a challenge now. I'm going between the clock. Paste it in. Okay, we've got another one. Let's keep going. Paste it in. All right, there we go. And we get our flag at the end. So you got to do 3 correct MD5 hashes in a row. Paste it in. I get the job. Make sure you have the full flag. All right, next we've got PW crack 1. Ooh, so we have a series of password cracking. I'm into this. Can you crack the password to get the flag? Download the password checker here, and you'll need the encrypted flag in the same directory too. Yeah, so once we have our directory, let's go and download our files, and we're left with our flag that's encrypted. So if we try and cat that out, we can't see it. So let's see what we can get from this level 1 Python. So please enter correct password for flag. Pico. The password is incorrect. Oh, damn. All right, let's look at the Python file and see what we have. Okay, so we have, as a comment, this function will not help you find the flag. This is just how it gets a flag. So we need to go past here, and we see here level 1 password check, and we can see here use a password. If it is the same value as 8713, it'll go and pass through the function that we saw earlier. It'll get the flag, it'll pass through the user password that I put through, and then it will decrypt it. So 8731 is our 8731. Let me go ahead and look at that one more time. 8713. Ooh, okay, cool. Just a little sanity check there, and minor dyslexia. All right, cool. We're over to password crack 2. We'll go ahead and make the directory, go in there, get our Python file, and then we'll go ahead and get our flag file. Okay, so let's see. I feel like it's just going to say the same thing. Cool. Okay, so now let's go ahead and see what we get. All right, so similar to last time, we have some hexadecimal values or hex values. So we can just go use CyberChef again. So we've got DE76. Go ahead and run Python and paste in our, and there we go. We get our flag. Paste it in, go submit. I like password cracking. Password cracking feels fun. All right, so number 3, can you crack the password and get the flag? Download the password checker here. You'll need the encrypted flag and the hash in the same directory too. There are 7 potential passwords with 1 being correct. You can find these by examining the password checker script. All right, let's go and get them. I get the next one. And lastly, get some hash binary. Okay, so we have this other hash binary. So let's just start with running our Python file. And I feel like it's just going to give you the same thing. Okay, so let's go inspect it. So if we scroll down to the bottom, we've got the strings below are 7 possibilities for the correct password. Only 1 is correct. So we have this stored as a list inside possible password list as a variable. So this is already in here. I'm just trying to think of ways to do this. Can we just iterate through that list? It's opening this level 3 hash binary. So let's just quickly see what that is. So non-ISO extended. Okay. So I am a little bit confused exactly how this is working, but it seems that it needs this binary. So I guess we can just manually copy these into a separate list. Okay, so the easiest way that we can do this is just paste in each of the passwords, and it turns out that like the 3rd password on the list is the flag. Cool, so we can paste that in. All right, I think we might wrap it up there. This video is getting fairly long and we've solved over half of the general skills that are currently available. So thank you so much for watching up until now. If you want to see more of Pico CTF and other challenges, please let me know. Feel free to do all of the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and ding the bell. Up on the screen, you're going to see a recommendation to my last Try Hack Me walkthrough. That was CTF Collection Volume 1 over on Try Hack Me, and that covers a lot of the fundamentals like we've been going over today. So it's definitely worth going and checking that out. Thanks so much again, and I will see you in the next one.